So I want to start with you, Jennifer. Before using radio, your marketing strategy, and why was it no longer enough in today's retail landscape?
Yeah. So before using radio, basically our marketing strategy at New Nordic was, I would say, really heavily focused on print media, on in-store visibility, email marketing, a bit of digital as well. And we really always were keen on building brand awareness and driving sales, particularly, I would say, around the wellness savvy woman, who's already engaged in the natural health space. And we were really well established pretty much everywhere. The US market was a bit of a trickier one for us, I'd say. I mean, it required us, it's such a large territory and it's so big and there's so much to do and there's a lot of competition. And so it really required us to kind of think outside the box and think outside our comfort zone. And as we all know, like the retail landscape shifts and there's more competition and the online space gets crowded and there's always an importance of an omnichannel brand presence. And so we realized that we kind of needed to reach new audiences in some sort of a memorable, trusted way. And being in the health and wellness industry and in that space, consumer confidence is huge. So that's where radio came in. It offered us a more credible, a more intimate space that basically allowed us to connect with a more mature, more health conscious audience that still values traditional media.
And before you used radio,
Mm.
what concerns did you have about using radio, and what ultimately convinced you to move some marketing budget into the radio platform?
Yeah, great question. So, radio was a leap for us. It was a completely, like I said, new medium, and I would say we had valid concerns. Was our audience even listening? Was one of them. How would we measure the impact of it, and would we even get the same ROI that we did in print and in other forms of media? And what ultimately convinced us, besides retail response, which I will touch on, but it was basically that the changing retail landscape, I would say, demanded more of a storytelling, more of an emotional connection, and radio could offer that.
Mm.
Our core demographic seemed to be more still, not more, but actively still listening to radio. After people coming back from COVID, they were going back to work, and people were still engaged, listening in their car and still tapping into that channel. Um,
Mhm.
and so we thought that why not pair radio with some of our other marketing activities, and why not create that multi-channel reinforcement? Then we met up with Retail Response, and they really helped us because they knew how to craft the message we needed for the US. They knew the US market. They knew what New Nordic stood for and who our audience was. And they were able to really help us accelerate on that and that media more
Mhm.
than we could have in any other way, really.